But like the way you actually approach these, you can get these things through politics, through force of arms, or through inspiration of people. The only difference that those make is when it comes to conflicts with some of the other sides. So all the stuff we have for the stones ends up working for all the various things that you're looking for. And correct. Well, you basically part of the thing you end up doing is moving between places. Like the Dowager Empress, it makes sense for her to be essentially fairly close and tight. Oh, I should actually make one for your sister. That stuff should be fairly close and tight because she's only just gotten into town. She does not have a lot of her agents sort of set up as of yet. Let me make this. Let me just double check what I had her. Like she's fairly powerful as far as that, but right now you don't have a very large contingent of the Southern Dragon Pirates in Thrashing Minister because it's a little bit out of the way. So she is rank 2, which gives her she herself is a rank 4 stone, and then she has a single rank 2 that's basically her lieutenant's. And let's do this. Mm-hmm. And so it's essentially, once at this point we start getting into, like, when it starts off, you'll probably be in a place where you can do a conflict relatively quickly. But then as things start to move, because you essentially, the way it works, everyone does initiative, and then we're narrating stuff. You go from not each individual one that belongs to you, but instead it's going to be, I know that's her lieutenant. Instead, it's going to be in each zone that you have one that belongs to you. You'll be able to use those and move those and do things with them. Which includes... Mm-hmm. Oh, are those unlabeled? Oh, damn it. Okay, let me... Yep, they are being... I forgot to hit the C... What? I hit show nameplate. The nameplate should show up. I've got to hit the player permissions, let you see those. You'll notice I put them over, you can see the ones that are popping up in the Hidden City. So those are the objective stones. Essentially, those are the things you're going after. And they represent, some of them represent the Emperor, some of them represent getting the, like one of the things that the Resplendent Phoenix Society wants to do is essentially win over the women of this town and also get a woman into power. Here, you've got a bunch of stuff with the Emperor, you've got some stuff with the Southern Dragon Pirates that, essentially, in order to get control of the Southern Dragon Pirates when others may come in, First Dragon Princess is going to be trying fairly hard to not be shown up by her youngest sister who has appeared here in town. And while their relationship in some ways is good, right now she's looking at, like, career-wise, her sister you guys had a big victory partly because, in her eyes, the meeting for Gallant Eagle to step down from the Wulin took a lot of the heavy hitters out of most of the places, which included Notably Picturesque. So you guys essentially got a place where it was rife for something to come in. Like, the timing happened to work very well in your favor. So she's a little... She wouldn't mind if it didn't also threaten to maybe see the First Dragon Princess not have as much power in the Southern Dragon Pirates as her younger sister, who's growing quick. Yep. And whoever ends up with control over the Southern Dragon Pirates. The Phoenix Market, there's some stuff that, not only control some stuff with the Phoenix Market, but there's some things that the Phoenix Market will also help people get the heirloom that has the Imperial Seals and the Han Dynasty that Bao wants to get. The women of Thrashing Minister are being worked on by the Resplendent Phoenix Society, who will then hopefully be able to essentially make them into more aid to help them get power. And they've got Xiao Jia is someone who they are trying to bring into power and make a part of the city. Yeah, she's essentially she's someone who could be important, but she needs to have more backing, which is what the Resplendent Phoenix Society is wanting to do. Mm-hmm. And also, they're there to help you as well, but they're also trying to in the chaos that's going to happen, which is how much do they know about your guys' plan? Little. So essentially, in the chaos, there's a lot of opportunity for things to change, and so they're trying to get a stronger foothold for themselves and for women in Thrashing Minister. So, yeah, these are. I mean, essentially, your biggest stuff. I mean, the Phoenix Market can get you the Han Dynasty heirloom, which Bao is looking for, which is supposed to be smuggled in a salt shipment soon, and will be placed up for auction, which is one thing that Bao is trying to get. The Emperor is the big thing here. Essentially, the eunuchs could just possibly have him assassinated, but if you do that, the amount of chaos that happens will be problematic. They've got to get a lot of their ducks in a row first. So essentially, as they get the Emperor Stones, their plans are moving closer to fruition to take not only kill the Emperor, but take over power relatively smoothly, where with you guys, it'll be like if you take over one of the first things I think you were doing, essentially is like finding a fall, like someone who could seem like the Emperor, who you could basically set up for it, or to verify. I mean, you guys have heard about who's trying to kill them, or maybe some proof. And the Dowager Empress is with you at least some. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen when it comes, because like the Emperor is not her child; it's the child of one of the other wives of the previous Emperor. So you're not quite sure how much love is lost there. So Li Xingjiao, where would you like to place your stones? Oh, okay, the one with the Phoenix Market, you said? Oh, okay. Yes. What do you want to put there? Because you got inspiration. You've got a couple things of force. So 2 units of force up in the Heaven and Earth City region, and 1 of inspiration. Okay. Oh, That's a 1 unit force. You got. I'm sorry. Which one? You got the one or a one two force and 2 inspiration. Okay, done and done. Up here, east. Okay, gotcha there. Okay, and then for Tim, you got your 3. You want to move them where you want them. Just the one. Yeah. And that's one I thought about maybe putting some more, but I didn't want to necessarily put too much. Some of them are going to be a little harder to take than others. Yeah. Of course, Yeah, so the thing is, some of you were able to help him out with that too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, but I guess it seemed like you were going to basically put in the other person for. Mhm. And some of them, it's also the ability to build up to the things that you're doing here. And where did I put? I actually wrote down how much of each. Oh, here. I'll make a note up here too. The objectives. All right, so can't hit tab. And okay, I put up above how many of each. Yeah, there's the one that represents you, and then the one that represents influence, power, or combat. All right. Okay, so we've got all those things, and Jesse just appeared. Nope. So I figure what we'll do is we can get this started, and then Iron Reed Doc can make his way in. Oh, Jesse, the yeah. Where's the? Did I log back in? Where is the? I'm just trying to find the one. Oh, there we go. I copy and pasted. And I'll be able to copy and paste something here. He'll be able to figure out his things real quick. And it's, you know what, you went out like a champ though. Like holy's like I mean, granted the rolls went really bad. Well, they didn't go bad. You just chose wrong things, but it was awesome. Yeah, you need to be better and down. We figured, in this case we go off the player's virtues. We figured she'd be less than impressed. Okay, we're doing stuff with a great game. If you want to take a look, I just put what your and basically how to figure out how many stones you have on here, and then we'll be able to do something with that real quick. So at this point, Dowager Empress has entered into Thrashing Minister. You've spoken with her some. You now have got things prepared essentially for your attempt to thwart the eunuchs and take over. So one thing, because some of this will be narrated depending on how people do, so if we want to real quick, go ahead and... Oh, actually, yeah, we've got... Jesse, you still rank 3? Okay. That's it. It's been a little bit. How class has been going? Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to roll initiative. If you guys want to do your initiative real quick, and you can put things in river like normal. I'm just going to do it. Basically, have you gone up in... Oh, okay. We get, well, only one person's actually gone up. So yeah, just basically hit your Wulin button. Eric, what you may want to do is go into the GM Wulin character, and you can hit a thing so you can actually see the other ones. Like I've got right now GM Wulin 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 available. You might want... Yeah, so actually you can probably just change the Wulin. Yeah, the Wulin one. Oh, here, let me... You're rank 3. If you go into the one that just says Wulin and hit show in macro bar... Actually, let me do this real quick. I think... Where's my show to players thing? Am I not... I'm not showing as the GM. Why the hell is it doing that? I'm not showing as the GM for some reason again. If you just want to go into the characters, Wulin... Yeah, if you want to just hit show in the macro bar and switch the other one, it'll appear there, so all you got to do is hit it. So the nice thing is, at this point, we've got Suyonli, we've got... Oh, add custom item label, RPS, add... Add Trappers. Add we'll do this. Ooh. And that's for the last one. It was for the RP, the Resplendent Phoenix Society, which you guys will be able to kind of use as you want. We'll put so it's 20. Give them say 30. Refill my drink real quick. Nope. I would just say I put up the thing that tells you like how many stones. Just do that first, and then I'll kind of just figure out what that is, and then I'll let you know. And then once you got your initiative, you just want to throw it into... Yeah, you roll initiative like normal. Oh shit! Well, yeah. And just use actually technically supposed to use like the tactics, politics, or inspire. Right now, just use your kung fu. Okay. Oh. If you look up, and let me actually place this closer to the board. If you look up top, there's a thing where it kind of shows what you can do with initiative. Actually, yeah, let me just move that closer too. Because you can also do your shaping waves here will also be to do things like claim, convert, and destroy the objective. You must control the zone. You end up wanting to create a new zone, transfer strength to help somebody else, or recover if someone's gotten a ripple. Let me actually move those right on top. Over here. What society are you part of? Do you have one? Do you have one? Do you have a status for Iron Reed Da? Let's look through what you got. Okay, so you got. Yeah, you 100 Ghost Faction. So you'll gain 3 points for that. Or no, you don't have status. You just unlocked that. You just got them interested in you, but no status. So yeah, so you won't have status for that, which also means you don't have the virtue. So right now it's just your stone. You will, however, gain, because of the other things you've got stuff in, and including the Black Lotus Society, an extra point of Joss. So you'll have a total of 4 Joss. So what? Yep, you're actually just about there then. You'll start off with less, but you're able to build them up depending on the stuff that you do. Choose one of the circular stuff up on the top right to be yours. There's tokens up there. To the right of the map. There's a bunch of circles to the right of the map. Bottom right. Yeah, if you zoom out some, you'll see them. Yeah, and Bao Zuwei and Suyan Li, if you want to go ahead and put your initiative in. It doesn't show up on yours right now. If you just open up the little time clock and then push in yours. On the thing on the left. There's not a little clock underneath an eye. This is weird because you guys have put that in there before. What's your initiative? I'll put it in. 29? Yeah, I put yours in. Okay. And so Lloyd, you're not showing the little clock on the thing on the left. So, huh. And Tim, what was yours? Initiative? Oh, did Tim die? Ah. Well, yeah, we'll have to. We'll have to get Tim a simpler game at some point. Jesse, were you part of the wheeled game? Oh. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. It was. I've of course been insanely busy. I'm. Yeah. Well, we got. Mm-hmm. Well, what's your initiative, Tim? For right now, it was supposed to be actually your tactics, politics, or inspire. Use your tactics then. If you guys want to. Okay. I got it. And Iron Reed Doff, if you want to check yours real quick. Alright, so let me put them in. Okay, let me get that. You will here in a moment. You're rank 4 still? Okay, you are now able to. You should be able to select it now. Now, what you want to do now? So, what this basically is there are stones on there. The ones that are not like the token circles. Are you able to? You're able to move that one now. Okay. The stones are not the circles. Are essentially like the story elements you guys or the Resplendent Phoenix Society are trying to get. So if you want to figure out where you want to place them. And I will. Let's just move here. I'll actually do this. I'll make this a little bit easier to find. Place that here. Place that. Wait a minute, this one I don't need. Place that here. Okay, so yeah, what you can do with your rolls, I put right there. Did anybody want to use any of like the other ones to on your action to start taking over, or are you going to try to get rid of anyone else who's in your zone first? Okay, because yeah, so essentially like once they're it's easier once they're out, but then you get to use a shaping wave the same way you would in regular combat to start taking over, and it may take a few rounds to take over some of them. Usually, like with some of the ones that have a bunch of them, it'll be successively higher rounds as you're going on. I'm trying to figure this. I don't know if it would be if emailing you your character sheet might help, but let me know if there's. Oh, I'll let you know now. You have +10 in Wu Wei, which actually on occasion can be useful, particularly if you're trying to hide the strength of something so it can't be struck. It can't be attacked. But yeah, you don't have politics, you don't have tactics, and you don't have inspire, unless you have some experience points you want to or destiny you want to spend now. It looks like you have 1 point of destiny you haven't spent. Which is that? I'm trying to remember. Does 1 point get you? Oh, new skill level takes 2 destiny. Okay. So we start off then. Kicking some ass. Yeah, and plus you also have you also have a pretty large lake to roll. So Li Xingjiao, what are you doing? So essentially, what we're able to do is just start going in the zones in which you have some of your control, and we start there. So what would you like to do? To hide it from you? I don't think so. He's on his phone right now. Oh, okay, excellent. You can basically. Oh. Well, establishing control happens on a shaping roll, like you do with your, like you do normally. However, if you attack something, if you put the amount of ripples equal to the strength of the stone, it will essentially exhaust the stone, so it can't. At that point, doesn't count as a stone in that area. Yeah, that's why I'd asked if you wanted to use one of those now, or if you just wanted to first work on getting rid of the competition and then start taking over stuff in the next one. Yes, for one of the ones you're in, yeah. Oh, for the Emperor? Oh, okay. What's the give your total? Okay, are you looking for the fall guy? Okay, so in this one, it'll take you, let's say, a total of 3 turns there to get it. At this point, you guys have seen the painting of the Emperor, and as you're looking through, you're walking the constellations. You're looking for someone who looks similar enough to him to at least be okay in a funeral in that area, and you've heard of stories of some people who look like the Emperor. So you're spending some time hunting them down. So what happens is basically each person gets, like, we go down then to Suyeon Lee, and then we go through everybody, and then you get to do the something else in another zone that you control, and then on that way. So Suyeon Lee. So right now you've got Li Qingzhao looking for a fall guy to look like the Emperor. And what do you wish to do? Which zone do you want to concentrate in? Tim, are you muted again? Tim, are you muted? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Okay. So for that one, go ahead and make a. You got the guards and such. If you want to, well, did you have anything left from your initiative to use as a shaping roll? That's fine. Let's go ahead and have you sneak in. And I'll make a roll for the guards and such, who are, holy fuck. Because I rolled them as a rank 5 Wulin, which is less than you guys, but so they've got a 38 total. Yeah, so it looks like it looks like you're okay. So 37. So what that will mean is, in this place, you're sneaking through the palace. You've got some information. You know that Li Qingzhao is trying to find the fall guy. You're pretty sure who is the evidence you're trying to plant is to expose the eunuchs. Okay, so basically, so once the Emperor is quote unquote killed, once the fall guy is killed, essentially, the eunuchs will then be blamed for it, and then essentially there'll be a lot of stuff against them. Okay. So what you'll do now is, and this is part of the abstraction, you'll take one ripple, because they succeeded by one. And essentially, if you ever have a point where you have as many ripples as your, like for you it's 2, you become exhausted, and your power can be brought back, but it'll take someone sort of helping as far as that goes. So in this case, you're in the palace itself, and you've got some of the manufactured evidence that you have created. As you're doing this, you end up essentially trapped in part of the palace, while there's a number of guards and such in the area, as the eunuchs themselves have upped the guard quite a bit. And you're sort of listening. The emperor seems to be being kept to some places in the hidden city itself, possibly in the concubine region. But the emperor, you're essentially ends up being stuck for a while in one of the areas until you can find a way to get out. Iron Reed Da. Okay, so in your case, the one thing you can do is you can also spend chivalrous jaws to create more like level 1 stones if you wish. But where are you at again? Oh, okay. So. Mm-hmm. Okay. We've got some of this stuff is actually written on the up above. What the actual plan is. Iron Reed Da introduced to the court. Iron Reed Da working with Hua Shen. Hua Shen was Shen the one that you were trying to take down? The Minister Hua Shen is the one that your friend is trying to kill, correct? Yeah. Here, let me bring up my. I've got notes I wrote down. It's been a while. Oh, Hong Geming is who you have. You're basically trying to out as a hand sympathizer. I think Let me check one thing real quick. I may have just wrote down the wrong thing. Okay. Wen Shen? Yeah, because Hua Shen actually is the one that he's trying to take, that his friend is trying to kill. So Wen Shen is actually the one, is your friend. Yeah, he's Wen Shen, got him right here. He's the honest man in the court. So if you're with the court, you're probably in the hidden city. Well, the hidden city essentially represents the court stuff. So right now, as far as the things people are trying to make happen, we have got the Resplendent Phoenix Society are trying to bring power to the women of Thrashing Minister. In particular, they're also trying to bring a specific woman to power. Southern Dragon Pirates, you got the first Dragon Pirate the first Dragon Sister is trying to gain the favor of the Dragon Pirates in the city, while the Emperor is something that everyone is working towards your various plans. So essentially, this turns into a light board game where you start off in an area, and then the stones that have like the little almost music note type stuff in them, those are the objective stones. And like right now, Li Xingjiao in the southern part of the Heaven and Earth City region is working on getting control of the Emperor there, looking for the fall guy on there. So it can help to put yourself where where one of the stones are. Yeah, you'll notice some of them say force, some say inspirations, some say just Li Xingjiao itself. The one that says Li Xingjiao itself is her. Because you don't have a status in a society, the other people are able to pull on some of their stuff from the society. So you actually have just yourself right now. Okay. Well, I would recommend, because usually you'd move during initiative. You might want to start someplace because, like, the Resplendent Phoenix Society is with you. The Dowager Empress is with you to a degree. Or you might want to start in a place that there's a where you can get one of the objectives. Mm-hmm. That is one of the places. Shaja is someone that the Resplendent Phoenix Society is trying to bring to power. Get her a job. They're not only trying to, with the chaos that's happening, they're using it not only to help you guys, but also to try to make the women in Thrashing Minister essentially have more power, because that's always their number one overriding goal. Okay. Well, what you want to do then is, do you have Inspire? Okay, you want to go ahead and make a roll for your Inspire. You have a difficulty of 25. Okay, you meet Shaja is not necessarily a bad person for them to choose. There's a lot of strength to her, but it seems like she's been a bit beaten down by just all the things that go on in the city itself. Her husband died some time ago. He himself was a minor minister. She has an opportunity to essentially take his place in some respects, and while she had tried, she had been laughed out of the council chambers. When you meet her, she's fairly down about it, and you gain an audience with her. But she herself, if you mention that, she tells you, she's like, I'm not certain that's something I want to try again. Yeah. And as you start speaking to her, you see her, like, it'll take a little bit more to convince her, and then to a degree that the Resplendent Phoenix Society will work on that as well. There'll be one more to actually take that stone, and essentially you're part of the way towards that goal of getting her in there, because she's still waffling a little bit, but you do see that she kind of wants to make a difference, but she's been convinced it's impossible. The nice thing about the Wulin is you break what's possible constantly. Okay. So for the Dowager Empress, I'm going to make a couple moves here. I'm not going to roll for this stuff. I'm just going to move them as they're coming through. She's starting to move herself. Dowager Empress herself. Actually, I'm going to move her. So the Dowager Empress has some of her people head out, and she herself ends up on her way towards the palace to see about gaining contact with her stepson, the Emperor. The spies. I'll move here. Okay, which takes us to the eunuchs. So Dowager Empress is all in one place. The eunuchs themselves, however, I think what I'll have them do, we have them in place with you guys. Lloyd. Bao Zue. Okay, you have some of your power and some of your inspiration is placed in the Royal Reception Hall. Here you've got their spy master and some of their ministers. What are some of the ways you've been trying to essentially get in there? Okay. Okay, and you're doing this with Washan and some of the others you've talked to? Okay, so you got your politics. as they're sort of working on getting their way into it, you have the spy master for the Unix, um, working their way in essence, trying very hard to stop you. That would be. Oh wait a minute, that would be wrong one. Not 1810. It would be he's got rank 3, which puts him at rank 4 essentially. No, wait, that's right. 4 is 2, 3 is that. That's. I wish they almost did it the opposite way. That gets confusing. So with his politics, you have a 39 total. As what he's trying to do is essentially shake off your political views. The people that you got working for you are having a number of investigations as people are coming close to them and trying to work their way a little bit closer to figure out. Let's say Wen Chen is sort of part of this, and at one point he finds himself before one of the spy masters of the Unix. Let me just get the name generator again real quick. Ha Quan is the spy master for the Unix. Ends up seeing Hua Shen and asks him quite a few questions. Essentially, I understand that you're working with people from outside of the city. What does Hua Shen do? He's been pulled in and is now being talked to. Being okay. And what's your? Yep. What's your total? Politics here. What? What's your total? 44 gives us 39. You basically give a ripple onto him, and if he gets 2 more, he's exhausted essentially. Hua Shen himself spends a lot of time being grilled, but is actually in pretty good shape when everything is said and done. When he comes out, they haven't really gotten other things about him. The Waning Crescent is moving, we'll say, a bit deeper into the city, which then takes us to, yep. You basically we then go back through and move something from a zone that you haven't controlled. So we do some zones, some zone to zone to zone. Li Xingjiao. Let me try to gain this real quick. I'm gonna try to get this a token just to kind of put where the places where things have been used. The shield will do. So Li Xingjiao in the Heaven and Earth City region. You have the ministers there working on getting the Southern Dragon pirates out of the town. You've got a number. They're essentially trying to work through the. They're like 2, 4. We got a 40 total. The Black Lotus Society is threatening their ministers are essentially threatening financial problems for any of the merchants who work along with the Black Lotus Society or with the Southern Dragon pirates. And you've got some of your force tokens as well as inspiration there in that area. Mm-hmm. Something along those lines. Well, I said. Okay, the thing is, since you don't have tactics, inspire, or politics, what would happen is normally you'd have a -5, but since you brought up the water margin, it gives you a +5. Since those have a rank of 2, they get to roll as if they're a rank 4 Wulin. So it's against a 40 total. Mm-hmm. Okay. In this case, we'll say your Inspire will take, I'll make a note of, there's 2 on there. It ends up taking, so that's what, 28 against 37, so that'll be, or 40. Actually, that'll be 2 ripples. So that's right now exhausted. The inspiration there, you've got some people working there trying to essentially help the stop them from being intimidated by the Black Lotus Society. But because the Black Lotus Society has a much worse reputation, it's not quite working. However, you do have, like, when your force is in there, when your force goes up against the ministers have a -5 because they're more about politics and less about force. So if you've got people there to beat the shit out of them, that's a whole lot easier to do. So right now, I'll just move it right outside to show that it's exhausted. Your inspiration there needs some help to be kind of brought back into the fray, which then gives us Bao Zue. No, 40. You had a 28 here, right? Yeah, it's the -5 and +5. So 28 against a 40. That's the 35 plus 5. Yep. So yeah, which meant 2. Yeah. Okay, so Bao Zue. Okay, so you get to use stuff from one of your zones. Where do you want to move into? In this case, yeah, we'll say that you're supposed to be used during your roll, but in the first turn, we'll go ahead and let you move. Okay. You're basically chasing after the ministers here. What about the politics against the spy master? No, the spy master went against you. Do you then have him push, or do you move him out? No, you can move yours out. The spy master's the spy master went up against your politics there basically and failed and got a got a ripple, which puts him closer to being out. Okay, so what is I'm assuming that's probably Washen or Wenchen. How do you go after the spy master? Okay. Go ahead and make a roll with your politics. He's got a 39. Oh, 29 is 39. Yeah, you'll then basically your politics takes one ripple. As you start, what you quickly find out is he has a pretty good hold on a lot of the people in court. And when Wan Shen goes around trying to talk to others, out of fear, many of them essentially shut down and won't necessarily speak to him about those things. Li Xingzhao. So basically from each one you have in a zone, and then you can go to the next one. Yep, so with one of the zones you've not used. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, he got the Black Lotus Society did something against him. He responded to the Black Lotus Society in yeah. Yeah, that's Li Xingzhao, then it's up top, and you use one of the zones you haven't used yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the thing is, even you yourself against certain things will have the same -5. Because those are things you don't have those skills. Because if you don't have the skill, it's a -5. Because the thing is it's the same. It's sort of a laughs at fears at situation. You don't have the skill at all, so you're not prepared to fight on those particular fronts. For the larger, more tactical perspective. But you also roll more dice than most. Mm-hmm. Yeah, though if you for the first turns, it's if you want to go ahead and just do it as part of a roll, then you can there as well. We'll just go ahead and make it easier there. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. 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 Yeah. And Tim, if you want to figure out what you're doing on there, because you're next, and then Jesse's after. Well, Jesse's got his move. Unless he wants to create one with a Joss. Okay. Well, because they rolled so awfully, even with, so you got what's 26, 21 against a largest they've got is an 18. They've only got 1 out of 5. So essentially, the spies themselves have been flummoxed from the Black Lotus Society in the Phoenix market. So yeah, as you start getting an eye for the spies who are there, and then using the strangeness of the Phoenix market itself against them and the way that it's set up, you're able to kind of keep them guessing and turning and not discovering the place in which it's being, in which it's actually being smuggled in. Okay, Tim. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, actually, because when you managed to escape through the place where you're sort of trapped, trying to find more stuff about the Emperor, well, that didn't work. You did find yourself in the Concubine Palace region, trying to find more things about the Emperor. The women kind of turn and stare at you, the ones that you do find, and so you basically start questioning them and trying to figure out what's going on with them. Okay, well, sort of threatening them since you've got force there. You want to make your roll and add your tactics? Yeah, 36. So let's have a roll real quick. They got a minus. Nope, they've got a -5 on there. So we'll say it'll take just one more turn to get the. Um, yep, sorry. Right now it's 1 out of 2 on there. And Ironweed Die. If you wish, you can spend some of your chivalrous joss to create some tokens for yourself. Okay. Dowager Empress moved all of her people. Oh, we didn't do this with the Southern Dragon Pirates here. I'll just make her a quick roll. 39. Give her a 1 there. She's starting to make some inroads towards your parents as far as getting things settled down in the city, and things there. The eunuchs themselves. We're starting doing stuff there. Eunuchs there. We didn't have him move. And we'll say, let me just roll. We'll just do this. Okay. The eunuchs themselves in there try to do something against the Dowager Empress and find themselves fairly hopelessly outmatched by her and how well she's taking care of things. The Black Lotus Society is the ministers themselves are threatening the ladies of them down there, 27, 37, and starting to essentially erode the ability of the women of Thrashing Minister to go against them, which takes us to Baozue. Okay. So, and one of the other ones you haven't already used? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, and that is a rank 2, so make a roll on the rank 4. Okay, we'll give you 1 of 3 there. Um, also going to so you while you are kind of going along the Eunuch Palace, you meet the Emperor. As you're kind of going through there, you see a young man leap through the window. Wulin, not as experienced as yourself, but you see him come through the window, land in sort of a crouch, and then turns and sees you there, and his eyes go a bit wide. Rumors have said that the Emperor often would try to escape his handlers. So he sees you, his eyes go a little bit wide. At that point, he sort of smiles and kind of looks you over, and you're also Wulin? I mean, not also, but I mean, you're Wulin. He kind of smiles a bit. What is your name? The mouth that split the city. I would have you tell me of these things. Tonight, come to the court. We'll have you escorted. And he kind of smile. He smiles at that point, and then essentially flips back out another window, and then rushes out. You've now got him 1 out of 2 as far as getting a bit of a bead on him. Li Xingzhao, do you have any places left to do stuff with that you haven't used? Yeah, and I already died. Like the ability to use some of your chivalrous Joss, the 4 that you start off with for this one, is one way to kind of give yourself some extra stones. So if you look at there real quick, I'm gonna use the bathroom real fast and take a piss. Mm-hmm. What's that? So have you figured out? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so go ahead and they've got a. You go ahead and make their roll. So they're at a rank 2, which means Wulin rank 4. Do you want me to roll for you? Hit the button. Okay. Okay. Well, I did roll 37, so it'd be 32 against you, which they have a 2. Yeah, they ended up with just a 28 against your 32. So essentially, it seems like you're intimidating and beating the shit out of the ministers that are there. So you gave him one ripple. So essentially, like as they're threatening the some of the other after they kind of got rid of your those who were trying to talk people up, the Black Lotus Society sent them away. You then have you come out more in force. And at that point, the Black Lotus Society, there's a few skirmishes, but the Black Lotus Society gets much more bloody than you do in those fights. And they end up retreating a bit. They're not out of the game as of yet, but they're definitely been knocked down just a little bit. All right, that takes us to Suyali. Do you have any places you haven't used yet? Mm-hmm. No, that's you're aware of. Like 13. Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got a skin tag on his penis. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is for the ones in the southern part of the concubine. Okay, so 32 against 24. So in this case, you've as you start asking them, one, you're getting a couple of them that it'll take one more turn to get them. But as you were getting them to more and more sort of go along with you, while there are some nervous about them, they do start to open up about the emperor himself and some of the more telling traits on him. Some scars here and there from some of his combat, some of his training. Um, just some specifics about the way he looks that you might be able to find more specifically. Iron Dot. Did you want to create more stones with your Joss? Okay. Do you want to put it there, or do you want to put it somewhere where you can go after something? Because the Resplendent Phoenix Society is on your side. You can create a stone anywhere. They represent a number of things. I mean, it sort of depends. Like you can either have your ability in politics, your ability in like combat, which is tactics, or your politics is your politics, and then the ability to inspire the hearts and minds of people, which is your inspire skill. Put one where? Well, you've already used that one, because basically you're able to do for each zone and use them, and then in different zones for ones you haven't used yet on the next turns. Yep. Do you want to create like a level 1 stone there? Okay. Okay. Are you are you using like you don't use like tactics, inspire, or politics for them? Usually for these, I mean, inspire. It sounds like those are the three major ones you use here to kind of bring the women in. Okay. Okay. Do you want to have them? So you basically working on inspiring. You got the women thrashing minister there. You also have the ministers of the Black Lotus Society putting pressure on the women of thrashing minister to essentially stop the Phoenix Society from having more of a foothold. Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. Well, they actually have that would be a 30, but that's going to be a 26 because they don't have as many, because they don't have Inspire on there, which means, so the Women of Thrashing Minister here, actually they'll go back to 0 because they've been intimidated. They get a bit ready to fight back at this point because of the ways in which the Black Lotus Society has tried to essentially crush them. But you're essentially talking them up. So you're starting to sort of gain them. The Resplendent Phoenix Society isn't quite to where you're at yet, but okay. Which takes us, because all the other ones have been used, to Bow. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have one they haven't used yet? Li Xing Zhao? Mm-hmm. Which ones are these? Oh, the one with women. Okay. Do you want to do you just want to do a quick roll for both? Do you want to try to take the Emperor and the Women Thrashing Minister for those? No, the one actually did use because they're looking for the fall guy. That one you did get 1 out of 3 there. That one you are doing. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, for this turn, we can go ahead and just make the roll for it, and then we'll make the shaping waves for the rest of them. You have 2 6s and 2 1s. No, you did. No, actually, that that's a rank 1. That should roll the rank 5. That should be the 60-10 instead of 7. Okay. So I rolled before, unfortunately, a 35. It was a 30 against them. Holy shit! I'm sorry. Oh, 28. And yeah, you don't have Inspire there, so you try to work with the Women of Thrashing Minister there, and it's just not. They're here in the West Willow district or East Willow district. They've been just too kowtowed to sort of bring themselves up. While you work on it, it just doesn't quite work. Suyeon Lee and Bao. Do you have any left? Okay, so everyone just roll initiative again real quick. And you remember, you use your Inspire Politics or whichever one you is higher, the Inspire Politics or Tactics. Okay. Are you able to put them into your uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I was just making note of what your river is. I haven't written it down. Um, to let's on this one to shape a district. Let's go ahead and just make that instead of a regular shaping roll. Shaping roll to move from districts, but if let's because looks like one of the problems is you have enough stones that are split up. You're not able to actually move much. As it goes through all of them, let's just go ahead and make that an action on your turn as opposed to a shaping roll. Let's continue to treat it the way we have been treating it. Just because otherwise you're not able to do a whole lot. You're only able to do a little bit of each turn. Well, 2 sets. Though you might be able to use one of that to actually bring your inspiration in Heaven and Earth City region to essentially help bring it back using your force to bring it back to 1 ripple. Okay, So yeah, that'll bring the inspiration back to 1 ripple. Mm-hmm. Well, so what were you doing? I missed the first part of that. Oh, so transfer strength is to give from one to another. It's essentially one of them is helping someone else in the same. It's essentially moving a stone from one region to another one. It'd be like giving up some of your force to someone else, and you don't have one in the same as another zone. No. That's usually the transfer strength is to give, like if you've got a strength 2 stone, for example, you might split into one and one and give one of those ones to someone else. What's your total initiative? Okay. So Yali, what's your initiative? Okay. Iron Rida. And Boot Bazoué. All right. Okay. The eunuchs in this place get to go first. What we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and move them into... Okay. Moving one there. Bazoué. Mm-hmm. But what we'll do is, to make it easier, we'll just make it a... Okay, so I would use one of the zones you've got. Which one do you want to start with? Okay, so the Spy Master. Okay, so what is Wan Shen doing to try to take over? That sounded like someone's phone buzzed. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, what's your politics? +10, so you succeed by 5. So the spy master. So you said yeah, he's got 2 out of 3 ripples in that case. So you said you're basically getting them so that they're not no longer listening to the spy master. Okay, the spy master himself is essentially you have a whole bunch of people kind of going against him. Yeah, is your river empty? Yep, put him in. And so essentially, they end up kind of coming against the spy master. The spy master himself thought things were pretty well. He's starting to get enough people that are starting to throw him off that he's put in a much sort of worse position. He's not out of the gate yet. He's relatively close to it. Yeah, so yeah, Minister Washen starts working his way onto the eunuch spy master. And the spy master himself was probably supposed to do a lot of other things, but is right now way too mired in all this bullshit, along with all this bullshit to actually do the things he's probably supposed to be doing for all of the eunuchs. So, the Li Xingzhao. Li Xingzhao, are you there? Okay. Okay. The Black Lotus Society gets a total of 34. The Black Lotus Society tries politically to sort of to get people to turn against the Southern Dragon pirates coming in, beating up people using force, making it seem as if they would never use force against people. But you've now come in and start beating up their poor people who are just here to make sure things were running smoothly in the Heaven and Earth City region. So if you want to go ahead and roll for your force there, they are rank 2, so they'd have they basically, you want me to roll for you? Okay, so the rank 4s, 1, 1, 2, 6, 7. So, so you have a -5 because you're not able to go against their politics. Mm-hmm. Actually, you have to put them in the river before you flow them out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you have 3, so you can do that. Or do you want to put both of the 7s in the river? Oh no, you won't be able to. So you got to put 1 in and then take 2 out. Okay. Yeah. So essentially, the Black Lotus ministers in the Heaven and Earth City region, you end up taking out completely. How do you take them out? Yeah, they're kind of hugely surprised when they come back, and the people that they thought they had cowed turn against them relatively quickly, and the ministers there find themselves essentially unable to do a whole lot about it. That takes us to Resplendent Phoenix Society, as they are. Let's do this real quick. 35, 40, 20, 33, 34, 39. The Respected Phoenix Society, the one with the Emperors, the eunuch ministers, they actually end up taking. The Respected Phoenix Society starts going against them in the. I'll move this. In the Phoenix Next region. So as you guys have been helping them out, trying to kind of inspire the women of. To inspire the women of Thrashing Minister, they end up sort of helping you kind of get more stuff with the Emperor, and in this case, the ministers, the eunuch ministers, they do a good amount of damage to as they're trying to drive them out of the Phoenix Nest region, which takes us to Sunyan Lee, Tim. Mm-hmm. They can try to fight against it, but if you succeed against them, their thing is they can kind of keep fighting until you take them out, but you will at least in the short term have power over them. It doesn't get taken off the board. It can be re-grabbed, but it's because it's been brought to you. It's going to take them several turns. So then you'd be able to basically concentrate on destroying them. You do either one. I mean, if you've got it for them, they can knock yours down to nothing. If you take him, you've got that stuff, and then as they come against it, you can defend. Essentially, if he's yours in the Concubine Palace region, if the eunuchs try to take him, you're able to be the defense against him. Which means instead of going up against just the stuff for the Emperor there, they actually go against you, which could be bad for them, depending. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Correct. If you take them out, they have to have someone else there to help them bring their strength back. Well, essentially, you got people there able to sort of get him rally or get the information to get other people to put stuff down there. Like, if that's the place where you're trying to put the okay. 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 Okay, so you start checking out people. You have 25 difficulty total. All right. All right. All right. You've taken control of Sunyan Lee, the Southern Dragon Pirates there. So you now have people who are able to give you information and hopefully get you into a position where you're much better off able to take the more power of the Southern Dragon Pirates. You've got information that will help you a huge deal in gaining a bit more power in the city itself. The Dowager Empress, I went ahead and moved, which means Iron Reed Da. So Jesse? In this case, instead of making it a, that's one of the problems with how it's set up. Instead of making it a something on your shaping roll, we'll go ahead and make it part of an action that you take during it. A lot of them have some of them have multiple ones. A lot of them have two for these ones. So where are you looking at? Well, I guess you're in for Xiao Jia. Yep. Oh. Yeah, the Downward Empress doesn't really care so much about that yet. So I put that up there, so now you actually should be able to see the blue bar. She only needs one more for Xiao Jia's alliance. Okay. Okay. So she's still a bit nervous about what she's going to end up doing. If you want to go ahead and make your roll. Do you have anything in your thing right now? Okay, if you've got nothing in your river, then yes, you are able to. I would just make a note somewhere if you just want to write it somewhere on the. So, Sun Yan Li is very nervous about sort of going up there because there's been so much chaos in the city of late. But you end up, like, how do you talk her into it? Wait, when you tell her these things, I'll make a note that Iron Reed Dog got this. At that point, she sort of nods, stands up, and looks at you, and it's like, for too long, things have been bad in this town. I will make a difference. And she's going to work, I mean, it'll take a little bit of getting her in there, but she is starting her work to actually become a power in the city itself, which takes us to Li Xingjiao. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which one's that in? Okay. I'll just go ahead and give that upper right or oh, Southern Dragon Pirates? Oh yeah, no, so the last one, so that wasn't the place we had the 1 out of 3. That would have been. You get the Phoenix Market. No, not that one. Yeah, well, you haven't so far taken it in the Southern Dragon in the Heaven and Earth City region because you wouldn't guess who was there. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, looking for the fall guy. Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Two. Oh yeah. Okay, you're correct. Okay, so yeah, so you're more looking for that there. So you are. Oops. Let me do this. Okay, so at this point you started to narrow down the person you're actually looking for. There are a number of people that seem like they would fit, and you've started to find someone who actually looks like they might actually be um, a good fit for to take over as far as looking a lot like the Emperor. Okay, so I give you one more on that one. And on... Oh, it is a... I'm sorry. Let me hit the bar 2. Bar 2 is the one, the blue one. Okay. And I had the first Dragon Princess. Essentially has gotten some stuff to help get her a little bit of power towards. She's got some more information that can give her a bit more power in the city as far as Southern Dragon Pirates are concerned. And he moved there. Oh, and the eunuchs. Bazue. As a last desperate act, the spy master attempts to essentially tries to get Wen Chen, plant some evidence that Wen Chen himself has been corrupt into it to get people to stop listening to him. There's a total of 39 for him. So if you want to roll your politics for that, give me just a second, be right back. Yes, to give yourself an extra one? Mm-hmm, sure can. Okay. Okay, be right back. All right, what's your total? All right, so 42, that is. Okay, so at this point, so Wen Chen, you find a number of some evidence that was left against you that made you look as if you were guilty of some wrongdoing in the town. However, and in front of others, when they look at what's going on, Hakuan is essentially devastated at that point because it's very clear that you are not that the stuff that he had tried to frame you with is not true because of the amount of sort of as much as he has kept himself clean. This is clearly not from him. Wen Chen himself is now vindicated, leaving a spy master who has essentially been shut down. All right, so that takes us to Bazue. Oh. Okay, go. Mm. Mm. Well, you're using inspiration, which they don't have. So they have a total of 34, that's a 29. So how are you trying to take them out? Mm-hmm. if you beat them by more than 10, you have an opportunity to. Let me just double check the combat thing real quick. You actually have an opportunity to give them 2 and take them out immediately. Okay, yeah, 48 will definitely take them out. Yeah, so, again, how did you get rid of them? Okay. So in a amazing speech, you managed to shame enough of them, where you've got enough other people behind you that the eunuchs themselves are going to have a hard time recovering from it. As the ones who are sort of against you there in the on the floor themselves are now going to have a very hard time gaining any traction again as you try to find yourself more into the Emperor. Okay, which takes us to, we'll say Black Lotus Society here. Let's do a quick roll here for. Okay, the Black Lotus Society themselves found themselves up against the Dowager Empress and find themselves quite a bit outmatched, as the Dowager Empress and her people are able to kind of keep them much more together than they thought they would be able to. At this point, someone wants to go ahead and do me a favor if you want to roll a for rank 4. So Tim, you want to roll for rank 4, and I'm going to roll for the Responding Phoenix Society is going to try to take out the ministers in Phoenix Nest region. Or if someone wants to roll. All right, well, they got a 24, 29, 35, which, when this is Waning Crescent. So the ministers who are trying to take over stuff in the Phoenix Nest region end up failing, and they kick them out so she can actually try to help you guys get more stuff with the Emperor. Which takes us to Suyan Lee. Jia Yu is essentially he's the head of the eunuchs. He's the head of the conspiracy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. 27. Are on this is the lower part of the Concubine Palace. Not the Concubine Palace. You did it in. I think you did it in the Eunuch Palace, because the Eunuch Palace has 1. Okay. Okay. Then I hit the wrong thing. All right, so you actually find in here, we'll say you managed to take control of it in here. Oh, yep, yeah. Jaya is actually not the head of it. He's the lieutenant of it because he's got a lower. Yeah, his is not quite as high. So you now have evidence as you're kind of looking through. You find the information that you need in order to essentially make it so that the Emperor, you're able to, for all intents and purposes, the person that they kill will be able to be you'll be able to do some stuff to make them the Emperor, so that essentially they believe that they've taken out the Emperor himself, which puts you in a fairly good spot in order to take over as necessary. No, the other one above it, the Unix one is not as of yet. It might still try to take control, but you have control of the Emperor's Stone there. Correct. Oh, yeah. Let me do that in a second. So I'll change his name here. So Ali, you got your information on the Emperor. So the Dowager Empress. Make these rolls real quick. Dowager Empress herself tries to. Their spies. Her spies end up being taken out by the ministers of the Black Lotus Society. She's trying to take those out. Those don't go particularly well. There's some fights. There's a couple assassinations that take place for her. What's these? Iron Reed Da? You've got your inspiration there. Okay, are you trying to take out the ministers, or are you going after the women thrashing minister? Okay, they'll have a -5 because they're more politics. They do have a little more dice to roll, but go ahead and roll. It'll be 60-10 for you. They have a 24. They got a 19. Or I'm sorry, 29. They got a 15 or 25. Okay, so the ministers there that were having some troubles with the. How do you end up turning people against the ministers in Wolf District? Okay, so as you do that, this point you end up essentially taking the power out from the Black Lotus Society ministers that were there, which I think takes out the Black Lotus Society entirely. Yep, so the Black Lotus Society is now no longer a problem in here. Oh, except for Blazing Fox. Okay, that takes us to Li Xingjiao. Yep. Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. You have a 21 against. Oh, give me a roll for you. You have 70-10. That's a force 3. You're rank 3 now. Or no, 18. Is that after 18-10? 18-10. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have discovered where the salt shipment is coming in. The one that'll be, you'll now be able to sort of to get that, and then actually get the heirloom that Bao is looking for. So you're showing up in pretty good position to be able to take that on. And then yeah, First Dragon Princess ends up taking out the eunuchs in the Jade Garden region, which takes us back to eunuchs. So you've got the Emperor, Sion Li. Like you've discovered the information about the Emperor, but Xiao Yu is attempting to see what he can do to take that back. Oh, I'm sorry, he did. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. In that case, let us do. I'm going to take all those. Let's do this now real quick. 2, 1. So the Dowager Empress herself gets shut out of the palace. She's trying to see her stepson. The lieutenant of the eunuchs ended up basically putting enough bureaucracy and bullshit in front of her that she's not able to get in, and has essentially been weakened at this point, which is Bao Zhuwei. Okay. Wow! Shit! So you have 44 plus what is that? What's your politics or inspire? So what, 34? Okay, so as you're talking to the Emperor, you very quickly, like, his thirst for the kind of adventures that you live. As you're speaking to him, you're going over the things that you did in Nobly Picturesque. The fact that you took down the Black Lotus, like, he is 100% on the edge of his seat the entire time. And you like, it's one of those things where you can tell very quickly. This is someone who has learned kung fu. He's essentially got the ability to be a minor member of the Wulin, but is very clearly upset that because he is now the Emperor, like his father was able to actually be a part of the Wulin before he took the reins as the Emperor, because his father is either dead or if the way that rumors tend to go, disguising himself in a part of the Wulin. Because of those things, he never got to have the experience that his father did of wandering the countryside and actually being a member of the Wulin. And he is hungry for that. It's very easily noticeable. This kid wants to be a part of it. And so as he finishes, he's asking you more and more questions, and about what it's like, and about what, like, the freedom that you have, and how his own freedom chafes the fact that he's not able to go and do all the things that he wishes he could do. see the. I'm the emperor. I'm not able to see the world. In a heartbeat. I mean, I have responsibilities. I'm not supposed to. It's the thing I wish for more than I'm able to say. Yep. Okay. I'm going to respond as Phoenix Society, the Dowager Empress. We're going to have some people move a little. They're going to try to essentially bring her back into the hidden city, but they've got to reach her first, which takes us down to Iron Reed Da. Okay. Listen, man, you can't take over a city without the bitches. Oh, they've got a 26. Who's your Inspire? Alright, you take them entirely. Take them. You find a number of women who are essentially very, very tired of being essentially left out entirely of both politics and power in town, and there's a good deal of anger you end up sort of seeing among those people, among those women in particular. And go ahead and take. I'm going to go ahead and give you. I'm going to give you another. Up here where the women of the Thrashing Minister are, I'm going to give you a level 1 stone. I'm going to spend one of your Joss for that. And we'll say this is going to be a political. As they are, like, they're so into it that they're actually trying to get more of their own people, more of the women in the town to try to take over what's going on here in the town. Li Xing Zhao. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Both of those force 2. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Ain't no rhythm nation. 27 total. 27. Mm-hmm. Okay, you start to make a very good case for yourself with the Southern Dragon Pirates in the area. You don't quite have it yet, but you have a number of people who are now ready for possibly ready for the Southern Dragon Pirates to become more of a power here in this town. Yep. Oh, let me see. Is it visible? Oh, let me do that. Bar 2. Sorry. It should be visible now. All right. First Dragon Princess, they did their things this already. That takes us back to Unix. I think they've actually all done their stuff this time. Guys, Unix to basically move their stuff. Bazouwei, do you have any left? Okay, Black Lotus Society is pretty much taken care, or actually except for Blazing Fox. Have moved up to the Royal Reception Hall. Resplendent Phoenix Society, I have moved them. Suyan Lee. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have an 18. So the evidence at this point, you've now discovered the things that you need. It is now... Note here. You now have the all you need is the scapegoat at this point, and you're now in a good position to allow the quote unquote assassination of the emperor. Iron Reed Dodd, do you have any? You got your one up in the East Willow district. You can spend Joss for that. Okay. Okay. What type of stone do you want it to be? Political or inspirational? Okay. Okay, get them created. And then Li Xingzhao. I think you actually took part of the Phoenix market this time, yes. I believe so. There's there's one on there. Should show up now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And this is in which region? Okay, the north. All right. Okay. Go ahead and make a roll. Okay, so you're they're basically protecting the dragon pirates in that area. All right, so you basically at this point you've won the Southern Dragon Pirates for you guys, um, unless your sister is able to take them out. Um, oops, that's a three. Made that two. So yeah, the Southern Dragon Princess has gotten some, but it looks like you guys are actually going to be far ahead in favor of the Southern Dragon Pirates when everything is said and done. Which puts the Southern Dragon Pirates with a, yeah, but there's three. They've like her sister's grabbed one. You guys have managed to grab two, which puts her in a position. Does Baozu Wei have anything left? Does anybody have people they haven't used yet? Suyongli, Iron Da, and Xianli. Okay, so mm-hmm. Doing what? Still looking for the fall guy, which Li Qingjiao is getting close to. Do you want to skip to the next turn and just keep everything the same? Li Qingjiao, because like you have the one the same thing with the women of thrashing minister, which are pretty well already under your like things are starting out pretty well there. We just give her one on there, one out of two. Are you okay if we just give you that? Okay. No, you did not. Bao Zue. Okay. Yeah, we're almost like we're about like I should be done here pretty quick too. We got about 15 minutes. Are you good for 15? So I think we can pretty much call it here in a little bit. Bao Zue. Okay. Okay. Yeah, as you've been speaking on the floor, Blazing Fox comes to um, essentially try to knock you down. The amount of problems you've been bringing to some of her allies. Okay. I rolled 31 total. She goes on the she goes on the floor. She goes on the floor and starts actually talking about how much trouble you created in Notably Picturesque, and the fact that all you are is a demagogue. You're essentially a Donald Trump, and that every word that comes from your mouth is poison. Okay. At this point, that the amount of the people that are for you are vastly outnumbering the ones that might have been for her at this point. Um, yeah, Resplendent Phoenix Society starts working their way towards the Hidden City now that they've got a pretty good foothold in, which gives us to Suyan Lei or Suyan Li. It might be possible to bring people bringing people against her. Like, Inspire is like bringing up the. Oh. Okay. Well, I got 32 total. Okay, that gives a. Yeah, so at this point, you start to see the. While Shaju is trying to get popular swelling against you, you start to see that the people who were maybe particularly for her at one point start to fade back, because now you have someone who is speaking out against her. You got the loyalists coming to. Whoops, let's stop that. To possibly help get the Dowager Empress back on her feet politically. Iron Rida. So, be right back a second. I am back. Okay. You want to go make your roll? 25 there? Or 26? Yeah, you find yourself as you're trying to then talk them up more at this point, enough stuff has been brought sort of against them that they are a bit nervous about listening to you at this point. But you're not necessarily finding any more headway. Is it Li Xingjiao? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You take your first one. Yeah, I take your first one. They both are pretty good rolls, but holy shit, those are both really great rolls. You soon find someone who looks remarkably like the Emperor, and you guys are all now in a position where you've got 4 out of the 6 for the Emperor. The Southern Dragon Pirates have essentially taken control. Bringing the women to power is slowly happening, as well as the women of Thrashing Minister. But you find the person you can take. So at this point, when you all come together, you found the person you need. You've got the evidence placed that will allow them to essentially place this as the death of the Emperor, but also make it look like well, not look like, but actually show that the eunuchs were the ones doing this. And you're in pretty good space to actually make this finally happen. So what do you do? Okay, so do you like sneak in one night and dope him up and take him there? Okay, so the poor kid, asleep one night, you come in through his window, which is very easy for you considering all of your skills and abilities. Then you rush him. You basically go to take him, pick him up, take him to the palace, set him down. The emperor himself, Bao, you have spoken to. You're actually fairly easily able to kind of get a hold of him again. It's Bazoué, and you see him as you kind of come into his chambers, the many chambers in which he stays. He bows. He kind of bows a little bit to you before kind of remembering that he's the emperor because he's just impressed. He's impressed with what you guys have done, and finally goes, "Is this happening?" He he smiles. He smiles, reaches under his bed, and pulls out a sword, and puts it on his back. And there's a small pack with him of some other clothes and stuff. And looks at you and goes, "I'm ready." I haven't. What should they call me? Um, a peach tree. And he kind of thinks of it for a minute. He goes, red like blood. Yeah, I see it. Excellent. I am Red Blossom. That's so bizarre. So yeah, at that point, he kind of nods, goes with you, and then as you leave, the I'm assuming someone else comes in with the drugged up youth. They're going to allow to kill. You're essentially messing with the plans that made them bring their stuff up ahead a little bit. And it's not long after when you leave the city that you heard that the emperor is dead and there's rioting in the streets. You're not taking the emperor with you? They gotta do all his own shit. I would say let's give everyone. Let's give everyone 7 destiny. You are leaving an empire in chaos. You have not, as of yet, gotten the. I mean, that's one of the things we can kind of look at next time. But I don't know if you try to get the Han Dynasty heirloom on your way out. Okay, sounds good. That seems like a good place to stop for the night. No, it's okay. But it's a little earlier than normal, right? Ooh, shit. Doing the what? Oh, awesome. That looked cool. Shit. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Shit. I tell you what, if we switch systems, we'll get Tim something easier. I think like this group would be awesome with like something like Wield. No, that's one of those things where I've got a couple people I've done one shots with that I might try to get a hold of because I've got about 3 weeks of a little bit more time before things don't get crazy, but things get a little bit busier. Though I've got a couple weeks before I have to be at a lot of the rehearsals for American Idiot. I'm so much like she. I God damn it! I wish you guys could have seen She Kills Monsters. Yeah, I was very proud of it. And I think most of you saw the MRP After Dark to see the burlesque show. Yep. Like, oh god, damn it. We've got a couple ones with us now that. Whoa. No, the show went really well, but like we got one who's like just one of the most stunningly beautiful people you'll ever see. We have a new one who's also just like, oh god damn it. Oh no, the thing is, standing is fine. Remember, sometimes when I'm upstairs where everyone's getting ready, they're walking around with just a thong on, and like no pasties or anything. No, I'm an adult. Truth.